All right, here we go. Light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt, and we are Halloween Daily News. And this little shindig that you found yourself in the middle of here is what we call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly gathering, hangout, conversation with our fellow fans, the loyal, the fanatical, the legion of Michael Myers. Which brings me to our returning friends. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're here, that means you made it through another week, and more specifically, you made it through another Monday, and sometimes that's the hardest part of the week for some of us. So, welcome. We're celebrating. We're glad you're here. I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me tonight, especially considering we don't have a ton of news to talk about tonight. I'll tell you that up front. Not a whole lot of breaking news this week, but what little we do have is pretty damn significant. So we're going to get into that. Of course, we're talking about 45 Years of Terror. Of course, we're going to talk about a few other news items this week as well, including some cool merch news. And then later on, we'll reveal our poll results from last week's Triple M poll question, and we'll launch this week's poll question. We'll do some shout outs, and we'll see how we're doing on time. But if everything runs the way I expect tonight, we'll probably have time to do some fun flashback footage from our HDN archives going back 5 years to the 2018 48 Years of Terror event. That should be fun. So we'll be taking a look at that in a little while as well. But, of course, the main event every week is always the interaction, the conversation, the live chat participation. So I can't wait to hear from all you guys. It's been a big week since our last gathering here. Big week for 45 Years of Terror. The tickets went on sale. We're going to talk all about that. I wasn't going to make it our lead story, but it's got to be our lead story because it's all anybody's talking about. I see it's all you guys are already talking about in the live chat. So we're going to get into that first. But before that, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to take a drink, and I'm going to turn over here to the live chat and welcome some friends that I see joining us, including some esteemed, illustrious channel members. Just a reminder, it's only $5 a month to become an HDN Club channel member, and there's all kinds of cool perks. Andromeda is one of the club. I see some others, including Brett. Patrick is here. Patrick Ring has checked in as well. Let's see, I see Team Wolf is here. Rob Windsor, Megan, of course, checking in early. Phil is here. Andy Wolf, what's up? Got the 3 new figures from Fright Rags. I love to hear it. I'm going to talk about that a bit as well. Darkman has checked in, I see. David Suber, of course, I love it. One of the first here today, I think. Liz is here as well, lighting it up with some jack-o'-lanterns. Michael Myers, of course, expressing his usual silence, as we would expect. Good to see you here, Michael. Let's see here. Scrolling back up. Tim is here as well. Welcome. Horrorhounds checked in. Awesome. I love to see it. All right. Again, if you're new here, don't be shy in the live chat, or if you're watching on a replay, down in the comments below. That's what it's all about here on Monday nights. Solid Saturn has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Yes, I love to see it. This is awesome. All right, guys. So yeah, let's just go ahead and I'm gonna do a quick show and tell like I usually like to do. Now, this does tie in to one of the news stories we're gonna talk about in a little bit. But before I get to that, a couple quick show and tell items, and this time it's from our online shop, and I just want to let you guys know because first up, I've got a couple low stock alerts that I want the Michael Myers Monday Live crew to know about first, because you know we're always going to throw a little extra love in your package when you order from us if you let us know you watched the Michael Myers Monday Live broadcast. Both of these fear fresheners, the Halloween 4 Michael Myers and the H2O Michael Myers fear fresheners, they're actually air fresheners. The H4 is cinnamon scented, and the H2O is vanilla scented, if you're wondering. No, they're not pumpkin spice. I know. Should have been, right? Missed opportunity there. But they smell delicious. They do smell delicious. As I'm holding them right here, they smell delicious. And they are just $3 a piece. And we've only got, I think, about 5 of these guys left, and I think maybe about 6 or 7 of these guys left in stock when I checked earlier today doing some inventory. So I figured let me let you guys know about that first before we start blasting that out across social media. Again, links to those you can find down below in the description of this video. But you can always just find them at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop, or just hit the shop tab in the main menu at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Now, these other two items I want to bring to your attention. Not that they are newly released items. We've talked about them quite a bit here before, but not in a while. And I know we are all very excited for the Fright Rags retro style 3 3/4 inch Halloween 78 figures, and we're going to talk about them in just a minute. I'm super stoked. They look amazing, but I do want to remind everybody that we do have currently in stock still some of these released during the 40th anniversary celebration of the 1981 sequel, Halloween 2. This is the set, Michael Myers, Laurie Strode, made by Super 7. These are the officially licensed Halloween 2 reaction figures. They too are 3 3/4 inch scale. You can see a showcase video elsewhere on this channel, but I did put links down below where you can find direct links to purchase these. But if you are on the fence about these, again, I try to look out for you guys on Monday nights whenever possible. And while these are not brand new and we don't have the Fright Rags to sell to you like I wish we could, I do want to give you guys watching here, the Michael Myers Monday Live crew, a special discount code. These are retailing for $18 each, but I'm going to give you our convention special that we never offer online, but it's only for you guys. So the code is Triple M Crew 3. That's MMM Crew 3. MMMCREW, and then the number 3. That is your discount code if you're watching tonight. And what will that give you? That will give you $3 off either of these figures. So you'll get either of them for $15 each, which makes the set $30. So $3 off either of these figures, normally $18 just for Michael Myers Monday Live crew watching tonight. There you go, guys. Hit it up. Excuse me. Pardon me. Let me wet my whistle here. But again, I know a lot of you guys already own those. Excuse me. But just want to remind you that while the excitement of these retro style figures, there are the Super 7s. And you'll remember, collectors will remember that Super 7 were the ones that released the very first retro 78 Myers way back in that very first wave of horror reaction figures. Do you guys remember that? All right. So our top story tonight is, of course, Halloween 45 Years of Terror, code name H45, happening in Pasadena, California, where the original film was shot and portions of other sequels in the film franchise, celebrating 4.5 decades of Michael Myers of this franchise. It is happening this fall, the final weekend of September 29th and 30th, and October 1st. Now, we have been covering the development of this event since we first learned that it was definitely happening. We broke the news to you guys first right here on the HDN channel, and ever since it was officially announced and the first guests have been revealed, we've been on top of it as much as humanly possible here. So, once again, we have a 45 Years of Terror update this week, and it is pretty damn significant because, as you may have seen, tickets did, in fact, go on sale on Friday. Now, when last we were here, last Monday, a week ago, we were talking about how tickets did not launch that day, that Monday, and had been postponed for 24 hours at that time, as of that recording. The following day, on Tuesday, it was announced that there was still going to be a delay, and just to be safe, they were going to push it all the way back to Friday to give them plenty of time to test everything out. Very smart move. So, the launch came 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, on Friday, and wouldn't you know it, within minutes, you guys snatched up all the VIP passes. How amazing is this? Let's take a look at this. We're talking about 45 Years of Terror. And you can see the post here from Friday, April 28th. Posted at 3:09 p.m. That VIP tickets for H45 had sold out in 7 minutes. Now, this is pretty impressive, if you ask me. Not the sellout. Now, I expected the sellout. I don't think that's so surprising, but I mean, the fact 7 minutes, guys, wow, that is impressive. Give me your thoughts. Did you get your VIP tickets? Did you get your general admission tickets? Have you purchased them yet? I know some of you have already chimed in here that you have. We also got another guest announcement to go along with the ticket release. Halloween H2O's Michael Myers, Mr. Chris Duran, has been added to the lineup of Michael Myers actors coming together for what will absolutely, I have no doubt, be the largest gathering of Michael Myers actors ever assembled in one place, the largest gathering of Halloween franchise alums and personalities, all assembled in one place. We had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Duran at the 2018 event, 40 Years of Terror. He gave us a brief interview there on the convention floor and was awesome to talk to, and you can read that anytime under the interviews section at HalloweenDailyNews.com. And when we get done here, I will put the link to our interview with Chris Duran from 2018 in the description of this video when we get done here. Now, general admission passes for Saturday and Sunday are $60 each. The VIP, I believe, we're going for $250. And if you're keeping score, the tickets for the Friday event, which is a separately ticketed event, just to be clear, that is the Horror's Hallowed Grounds Filming Locations Tour. Hosted by Sean Clark, our buddy. You know him well from the show Horror's Hallowed Grounds. Of course, our favorite YouTube podcast, The Thing with Two Heads, with Christopher Nelson. All right. So VIP has sold out. I want to hear from you guys. Did you get your VIP passes? I saw in the comments, I see what some of you are already talking about, and I'm glad you've brought it up because I did notice some of the scalping right away that some of you have mentioned. Absolutely. All right, let me scroll up here and check in, see who else has checked in since we got going here. Lurch has checked in as well, another illustrious channel member, part of the HDN Club here on the HDN YouTube channel. I love it. Welcome, man. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Dude is in the house. Let's see who else. Byron has checked in. What's up, man? Byron's writing a script, and it's Halloween related. I love it. Patrick got his VIP ticket. I love it. Teen Wolf didn't get VIP, but got the weekend passes. Yeah, that is a great deal for the weekend pass. Yes. Now, some of you had inquired. I know David and a few of you had inquired and asked if I got my VIP pass. Full disclosure for you guys here on Michael Myers Monday, I'll say that we've actually HDN might have secured press access to the event. Now, whether or not we can make it out there from the outer rim of the East Coast all the way out there to LA for the event, that's another story. You know, fundage is always tight, but we are hoping to figure something out because HDN just may have secured press access to the event. But we're not ready to talk about that quite yet here tonight. But that should answer your question for those of you that are wondering. Now, again, general admission likely won't sell out. And I knew the VIP would sell out. I mean, that's not the surprise. But under 8 minutes, that actually blew me away to hear that news, and makes me really think that this event will be the biggest, not just in terms of the amount of guests, in terms of the amount of fans that are prepared to turn out for this already. But yeah, I did see right away on some of our own posts on social media and other posts sharing our reporting of the tickets going on sale Friday afternoon. I did notice that there were comments, people saying I couldn't go. I bought these tickets, and it was like 5 minutes after the VIP had sold out. So obviously, a lot of people bought some with the plan to resell them, which is unfortunate for those that missed out, and especially I'm seeing that some of you missed out just by a few minutes. So that definitely is unfortunate, but I don't think anybody saw it coming that was going to happen, especially with the delays. I mean, whether or not that helped or not, and helped create that within minutes rush, I don't know. But yeah, this is obviously going to be a huge event, and they've only just begun to really announce the guests and the other details. Now, again, our buddy Sean, he did mention in his recent live stream on his channel, I don't know if you caught it, but he did mention that they are in fact going to add another separate event, another ticketed event, which will take place after the convention on Sunday evening. And those of you that attended in 2018 might remember they did a special Beers with Tom Atkins event at the actual bar where they shot the bar scenes in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So you can end your weekend there having beers with Mr. Tom Atkins himself. And that details of that, as well as the separately ticketed Friday event, the touring locations, Horror's Hallowed Grounds bus tour. All of those ticketed events are going to go up at a later date. Of course, we're going to be here to update you as soon as we get wind of any of it. I can tell you we attended the Horror's Hallowed Grounds bus tour in 2018, and it was awesome if you've never done it. And even if you have done it, Sean, again, provided a pretty good indication. That was kind of the purpose of his live stream. If you didn't see, he was kind of just kind of feeling the pulse a little bit about the tour and fans' feelings on maybe changing a few stops to make time for a few other stops that were not featured in previous tours, or at least not in the 2018 one that we attended, namely the Wallace and Doyle houses from the 78 film. Long story short, he mentioned that they might be cut from this year's tour in order to make more time to go to other locations, such as the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital from Halloween 2, and other locations that were not part of the tour in 2018, or I assume not part of other previous tours. So that sounds pretty exciting, especially for those of us that were there before. And there are ways to find those other locations on your own while you're in town as well, if you really want to hit those. But I do like the idea of some new tour stops, honestly, and I am very excited to hear about these new first time guest appearances because I'm hearing a little bit of talk about, you know, some first timers that we can really be excited about and look forward to. Um, I don't know who exactly myself, but I have a good imagination of some that might be possible from the recent trilogy. Although Sean mentioned that there's going to be at least one first timer from Halloween 3. I think he mentioned multiple from Halloween 3 that he mentioned in that live stream, if I remember correctly. But all right, you guys chime in the live stream and in the comments below. I see Jim Welch says he got VIP ticket confirmation at 12:03 Pacific on Friday. You were on it, man. Yeah, had you been just 3 or 4 minutes later, would have missed out. Let's see, Andy Wolf has checked in as well. What's up, man? Yes, Lurch got his VIP. Hell yes. Rob wanted to cry. Yeah. Yeah, see Andromeda. Yeah, they had footage and yeah, they have had different cast members show up at some of the tour stops sometimes in years past, I believe. Patrick's looking forward to drinks with Tom Atkins on Sunday evening. Hell yeah. Lurch is hoping Ellie Cornell gets announced. Well, you know, I mean, chime in with who you think might be next in line. We can go back over to that post about the sellout, and it does actually state that we will start announcing more guests and keep the news churning out all through this summer and into the fall. Um, so, I mean, if you take that word for word, that might mean that we have a few weeks to go until summer really gets going before the announcements really get going full steam ahead. But in any case, I mean, a pretty good lineup to begin with. I mean, again, when you are assembling the iconic performers who have played Michael Myers, you're starting at the top with Nick Castle and Dick Warlock, of course, and of course Tommy Lee Wallace. Now we can add Christopher Duran, Brad Laree, Tyler Main, and of course our buddy James Jude Courtney, with many more still to be added. Halloween 45 Years of Terror. And you can learn more about this at the links in the description of this video or anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com. All right. Our next big news item this evening is Trick or Treat Studios' unveiling of their brand new, officially licensed Halloween tabletop board game. That's right. For the first time ever, John Carpenter's 1978 classic, the original Halloween, is now being presented in the form of a board game. It is a hidden movement game from Trick or Treat Studios. Um, we can go over here to its official listing at trickortreatstudios.com. We'll probably have them up at on our site for pre-order in the next few days, I imagine. But for now, we did put an affiliate link over to trickortreatstudios.com where you can pre-order this game right now for $60. It's going to begin shipping in August. It is designed by renowned game designer Emerson Matsuchi, and the artwork, the illustrations are by artist Nathan Thomas Milliner. And we can get a little preview of some of that artwork from that uh, box art featuring Michael stalking, looking in from outside of a residential window. Because in this game, you see, it is a what they call a one versus many game, whereas one player will in fact play as Michael Myers, and the others will play as some of our favorite characters, survivors, and in some cases, victims of the original Halloween. So Trick or Treat says on their website, it was the night he came home, and one player must take on the role of Michael Myers. The others will control Lori and her friends as they scramble to find weapons, the kids, and a way to escape. Their task will be made more difficult because Myers can only be seen when you're looking right at him, and he is right on top of you. Up to 4 people can play, and Trick or Treat estimates the runtime of an average round of the game, I guess, to be about 60 minutes. So again, here we can get just a little preview of what the game will look like. Like we said, you will play as characters from the film, including Michael himself. Somebody will be the Shape. And here is the Shape playing pieces. Love this artwork by Milliner. You can see there's I don't know what that footprint piece there is. I like that. Maybe that's how you can move Michael around more stealthily, leaving his footprints somewhere. I don't know. And here is an up close look at the other characters that are playable in this game, including Dr. Loomis, Sheriff Brackett, of course, Laurie Strode, Linda, Annie, and of course, you got to have Bob in there as well. A good assortment of the 3, or of the 6, excuse me. And again, I love the overall vintage look and feel of this game. It reminds me of a board game that would have been released in 1978. The color scheme and just the art style of it all, and the fact that it's a board game, which you know were much more popular in '78 than 2023, but clearly hitting that retro nostalgia mark. All right, let me know what you guys think about Trick or Treat Studios' new officially licensed Halloween tabletop board game. Now, as a collector, it's a must own. For most collectors, I think it's a must own. But how about game night? This is going to redefine game night for some of us, is it not? Give me your thoughts in the comments and right here in the live chat right now. I do like that artistic rendition Milliner created of Myers right there. You got the full moon in the background. The mask looks badass right there. Yeah, that's a great cover shot of Michael. And another amazing merch collectibles news. Yes, Wave 2 of Fright Rag's awesome Halloween 78 officially licensed 3 3/4 inch retro styled action figures are up for pre-order right now. We've got links for you at HalloweenDailyNews.com and in the description of this video where you can order all 3 figures in Wave 2, including Dr. Loomis, again, Sheriff Brackett, and Annie Brackett. And we will go over to Fright Rag's official site, and you can see the figures Annie comes with. They each come with their own accessories. Annie includes her school books. Sheriff Brackett includes a pistol as well as his flashlight. And Dr. Loomis comes not only with his trusty pistol, but also an actual removable cloth jacket. And they are priced at $20 each. Very reasonable. And if you act now over at Fright Rags right now, they've also got Wave 1 back in stock right now as well. I know a lot of you jumped on that Friday bright and early as well. These things look amazing. We talked at length about them last week. Again, we put some links down below. If you haven't ordered yours yet, we do have an affiliate link. And when I say affiliate link, that means that HDN earns a very small commission off sales through those links, and but it does not affect your shopping experience in the least. It doesn't change your price at all. It just helps us out here at HDN, and we do appreciate your support. Yes, I've still got my my Linda Wave 1 figure up here. um, um, All right, let's go back over here to the live chat for a minute and see what everybody is saying about these amazing new merch announcements, which are they are celebrating the 45th anniversary, even though they might not have that on the packaging saying 45th anniversary. These 78 H78 items being released this year. It's all part of this 4.5 decade celebration that we are a part of right now. All right. All right. Lurch is out. Got work early. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in while you can, man. Check out the rest of the show tomorrow and get some rest. Thanks for being here, man. And thank you for your channel membership as well. We appreciate it. Brett, wondering if this will be out before Fright Rags H2 version. I was wondering that too. Do we have a release date on that H2? I hadn't heard um, a release date on that yet. Yes, dude says we'll definitely improve game night for sure. Rob says total 6 hour marathon session with Michael Myers. Bring it on. Damn right. Every time you get stabbed, you got a drink. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you can make it a drinking game. I mean, you can turn anything into a drinking game. Sam's totally buying that. Hell yes. I hear you. In the words of Linda, totally. Y'all loving the Loomis figure. Yes, Andromeda, I agree. Yeah. That Loomis figure, very excited to get my hands on him. Yeah, yeah, play for beers. Plays Bob and Linda playing for beers. Patrick, the Halloween movie collector, says it's a very expensive weekend between H45 VIP, Fright Rags figures, and now the board game today going up for pre-order. Yes, yes, I hear you. Not a cheap weekend for Halloween fanatics, that's for sure. But let me hear from the rest of you. What of this releases have you thrown down for? Um, which do you plan to that are still available? Um, while they're available, of course. Yes, wife wasn't pleased with all the purchase. That's funny. All right. Before I get to our other um flashback um that I was going to share tonight, we might have two flashbacks actually. One other news bit that I just wanted to talk about for just a minute here. You guys know, regular viewers know, most of you that watch the channel with any regularity should know by now. I love this franchise, but I also love Scream. I love the Scream franchise, not quite as much, but I love me some Ghostface, and I'm a big fan of the most recent movie, Scream 6. I talked about it quite a bit on other live streams and in other videos here on the channel and on the website. It's a Halloween movie, takes place during Halloween, and while the franchise always pays all kind of love to the Halloween franchise, going back to Wes Craven's original film in huge ways. I mean, they do to the whole genre, but specifically to this franchise always. And I've talked about that at length and gone through all the different Michael Myers and Halloween franchise references throughout the films. Well, a few weeks ago, when I saw Scream 6 in theaters, we talked about the references that they paid and the love that they paid to this franchise yet again in yet a whole nother new way, because this film taking place on Halloween allowed the directors to actually place all of our favorite horror icons in the film in the form of people dressed in costumes as their favorite horror icons. So yes, there's Michael Myers as he appears um, throughout the subway scene. He's featured throughout the subway scene, and then there's another Michael Myers as well. I noticed on my repeat viewing, because Scream 6, if you didn't know, it's now streaming on Paramount Plus. So I did rewatch it for the second time the other night, and I noticed not only is this Michael Myers featured throughout the subway scene, which I loved when I first saw it and talked about after our theater viewing. There's another Michael Myers that you can see in the background wearing what appears to be a Rob Zombie's Halloween mask. And but the other confirmation that I got on my repeat watch that I want to let you guys know about is yet another Easter egg for the Halloween fans within the latest Scream movie. And we mentioned it weeks ago after I first saw the movie, because one of our readers said that they caught it when they saw the film in theaters. And I didn't catch it in theaters, but on my rewatch, I listened for it and I rewound it and watched it about 5 times. And I can tell you that absolutely in this scene, you can definitely hear a certain chant in the background, a very familiar chant in the background of this subway scene. You can hear the chant of evil dies tonight. That's right, that infamous chant from Halloween Kills can absolutely be heard being said repeatedly. I counted at least 5 or 6 times in the background of this scene. I listened to it over and over. It's no accident, it's absolutely there. Yet another bit of love thrown from one franchise to another. I've said over and over, Ghostface loves Michael Myers, Scream loves Halloween. They're always throwing so much love to this franchise, as they do to all the horror franchises, but none more so than this franchise, and rightfully so for many reasons, and especially here in a Halloween movie. And another fun bit of trivia that links the two franchises, Halloween Kills, which is referenced, was of course filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, where Scream 5, also known as Scream 2022, was also filmed. The same soundstage, Screen Gems, where they recreated the Myers house, was also the same stage where they also recreated Stu's house in Scream 2022. So the franchises are linked there as well, and specifically that film in the franchise, the Halloween Kills. So there we go. Once and for all, it's there for sure. If you didn't know, listen for it or don't. Mute it out if you can't stand to hear it anymore, because I know some of you really did not like that part of Halloween Kills. Personally, I never minded it that much. Certainly not to the extent of anybody else, and it was never that big of an issue for me personally. But there we go. Yet another Michael Myers Easter egg reference inside of a Scream movie. All right, you guys tell me, did I ever share this H4O clip of the proposal? I know we looked, I know I've shared it before, but have we, like this year, this calendar year, since we've been talking about 45 years of terror and kind of celebrating 4.5 decades of the Halloween franchise, while at the same time kind of looking back on our own history here at HDN. Last year was our 10th anniversary, so we're looking back on a decade of Halloween coverage and Halloween franchise coverage and all the things that we've got in our archives, and both stuff that's been published and seen but maybe hadn't been shared in years, and in some cases other stuff that has never been seen publicly before. And some of that stuff I like to share with you guys here on Monday nights. One of those is this clip from a panel at the 2018 40 Years of Terror, where it was actually a Halloween 281 panel. And it was one of these magical moments that you see happening at this event. I might have shared it with you guys before. Do you guys remember if I shared the Halloween 2 panel proposal clip here recently? Because if not, I'm about to play it. It's very short. I think I'm going to play it anyway. Million has checked in. What's up, Million Ideas? Awesome. Good to have you in here. Phil loves the Scream movies as well. Hell yes. Oh, they're a lot of fun. Team Wolf says, at this point, the survivors have a bigger kill count than Ghostface. Yes, in the last movie, absolutely. Yeah. A couple of those survivors should have been goners in the last movie. I do agree with that. Yes. Yeah. I won't get too much into spoilers right now, but yeah, I would agree. At least two of those survivors should have been goners, if not three. But not to get too off the subject, but let me just throw this out to you guys that are Scream fans. I'm telling you, if this franchise in their next movie, with or without Nev Campbell, I love Nev Campbell as Sidney, but this Scream 6 at the box office, the money it made, it proved once and for all that, yeah, they, love it or hate it, they don't need Sidney. They don't need Nev to make money at the box office. So I don't think that's going to be a big factor going forward. It may or may not. She may or may not factor in. But from a storytelling standpoint, with the way Scream 6 ends, man, if they don't have a sister versus sister epic conflict and let Sam go full Ghostface in Scream 7, then I don't know what they're doing there. I mean, to me, that's the only place to go from there. Let her go full on, kill off everybody else, and then have an epic sister versus sister at the end, where it's heartbreaking but satisfying all at the same time. There you go, Scream 7. That's my pitch. You guys tell me what you think about that. Good point, Andrew. There was 3 different Scream cups, each with a different figure on it. Nice little clue there Yeah, now it makes everybody want those three figures even more, all three different ones. It's awesome. The guy to the right of Michael and that still looks like Ben Starr. Well, I mean, again, not to spend all night on this, but again, I just love seeing this, and I don't know how legally. I mean, maybe they're pissed off at me right now because I keep bringing attention to it. I don't know, but I know I can't wait to get a hold of the Scream 6 Blu-ray for the bonus features and to hear more about the shooting of this scene. But one thing I will say again about this scene, I went back and looked, and yeah, I mean, this was digitally removed from the trailer because you can see that this shot was used in that first Scream 6 teaser, which took place mostly here on the subway. And Michael, they digitally removed that mask. I mean, I think rightfully so. It was better as a surprise in the theater. I'm kind of glad of that. But it's definitely a fact. For whatever reason, maybe they were worried about copyrights, or maybe they just wanted it to be more of a surprise. In any case, I mean, you see the David Bowie figure up there in the lower right hand corner. That they're in the trailer. You see the red hair of the Chucky over there on the left. They're in the trailer. You see coming down the stairs the bride from Ready or Not. She's in the trailer. They're all in the trailer. That guy wearing the knight's mask kind of in the foreground there, kind of looking almost at the camera. He's in the trailer. Michael's not. It's another guy in another far more generic mask right there. Otherwise, everything about this is the same. So just very interesting when you're rewatching the film. Check it out and then compare this scene to that within the first Scream 6 teaser. And just one more thing. I mean, how undeniably cool is it in this scene to get to see? And I know it's not the characters, but the likenesses of the famous, iconic shapes, if you will, of Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Chucky, not to mention so many more, not to mention Ghostface after Ghostface, both, real and imagined. So, pretty epic moment right here. I love this moment in the film. You guys tell me what you think if you've seen it. All right, let's pause and salute because another esteemed friend of the channel has just checked in with a killer $10 super chat. I love it. What's up, ProtectSafes.com? Welcome and happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Stabbing into the live chat. 999. Awesome. Everybody, you know what to do. Raise one and salute to ProtectSafes.com. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Darlene has checked in as well. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Welcome. Patrick enjoyed the last two Screams. The only thing that was bad in the 6 is that hardly anyone died from what were fatal wounds. Yeah, like I said, I would have had at least two of those near deaths to have been deaths. But hopefully they'll make up for that in the next one. All right. I'm gonna play this proposal clip for you guys real quick. And then we're going to take a look at another flashback clip. But first, check this out. This is from the H2 panel in 2018. One of the many magic moments why we love going to this event that could only happen at an event like this. Check it out.
There's a man in the audience, his name is Eric. I think he knows what I'm talking about.
They came out like 5 years ago. You said they protocol was it's been a long time coming.
pretty awesome moment to witness their love at a Halloween convention. You've got to love that. There is so many different kinds of love at those events. Andromeda, I had not heard that yet. That was actually the writers and the crew doing the chant of the Evil Dies Tonight in the background. I know they're sharing some behind the scenes stuff to promote the digital release of Scream 6. I haven't looked at some of that. I'm actually going to wait until I get my hands on the Blu-ray, hopefully, and probably watch it all then and do a proper review on the site, and we'll do something here on the channel, I'm sure, especially around that scene and the whole Halloween aspect of the film, which is, of course, I'm going to have a soft spot for Scream 6 within that franchise for a while, obviously. I mean, nothing touches the Wes Craven original. Now, as you guys say, I mean, that movie is, I think we can agree, that's untouchable. That's a classic as far as I'm concerned. One of my absolute all-time, like, top 5 probably favorites ever. It's amazing. Yes, darling, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just so awesome to see. And a little behind the scenes commentary on that, I can let you guys know that we were given some privileged information before that happened that it was going to happen. So it actually wasn't a total surprise. We were lucky enough because I've talked before that I've been lucky to interview Mr. Dick Warlock a couple times over the years. And so as a result, through the years, we've kind of kept in contact. His family, our family, his wife and my wife text regularly on birthdays and holidays and just regularly throughout the year to check in. And so when we saw them at the 2018 event, of course, it was a great big, hey, what's going on? And but she let us know the big secret that this guy, Eric, was going to propose to his girl at the H2 panel, and Dick was going to get up there and invite them up, and it was going to be this whole moment. So that we were actually a little bit more prepared than anybody else in the room for that, and knew that was coming, and that's why we had to make sure we were in there for that panel for that reason. Because there's so much going on at that event, and obviously we got to pick and choose. Can't be at every single panel, otherwise we'll never be on the convention floor and do our coverage there as well. So, and we can't be everywhere at once, unfortunately. But that was one of those amazing events from 5 years ago, 2018, 40 Years of Terror, from our archives. And you can see much more from that H2 panel elsewhere on this site as well. Yes, Teen Wolf says that proposal was so sweet. Yeah, it was so awesome. Again, I don't know if you guys had seen that before or not. I know I've shared it before. I couldn't remember if I had been meaning to in recent weeks, and I honestly couldn't remember if I had shared it in recent weeks or not. So if I have and you just saw it a few weeks ago, I apologize. But hey, it's only a few minutes long. Now, this next one we're going to take a look at. I thought we might do something a little bit different, and because it is a night where we're a little light on news, and we still are going to look at our poll results and launch a new poll in a few minutes, and we're going to do some shout outs and that stuff. But I thought since we're all feeling nostalgic and we're getting hyped for 45 Years of Terror, it's only fitting that we take some fun flashbacks to 40 Years of Terror, like that magic moment with the proposal. Now, this next magic moment we're going to look at, this is a few magic moments. Now, we're not going to watch this whole video. What it is, altogether, it's about 24 minutes long. We're not going to watch the entire thing here, maybe about half of it. But what this is the Halloween 2018 Q&A panel that took place at 40 Years of Terror. Now, to understand the significance of this panel, you have to remember that nobody had seen Halloween 2018 yet, first of all. We were just about 5 days away from the release of the film in theaters when this panel took place. And as you're going to see, David Gordon Green was there, Malik Akkad was there, Christopher Nelson and Vincent Van Dyke were there, James Jude Courtney, Rhian Reese were there representing the cast. Yeah, only the best were there. And it was this epic moment of excitement for this film that none of us had seen yet, and it was literally not a week away. It was just days away. The premiere was later on that week, right? So Again, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but we're going to start it at the beginning so you can get just a little bit of the intros and a little bit of the excitement. And again, this is for those of you that were there with us in 2018. Hopefully this will bring back some fond memories. And if you've seen this video, again, I apologize if you're bored with it. But for those of you that weren't there in 2018 and are looking forward to this year's event, maybe it'll help you get a little bit more excited. But I thought it was especially fitting to look at it now, 5 years later, because I don't think there will be a Halloween 2018 panel, so to speak, at this year's event. I think what there will be is a Halloween 2018 HKHN's trilogy panel, you know what I mean, at this year's event, and rightfully so, and it's going to cover all 3 films. So this was a moment in time. This was a moment when we had no idea there was going to be 2 more films. Had no clue. We had no idea what this film was going to be. And so I want to watch it with you guys here, kind of in retrospect, is kind of looking back, knowing what we know now, and hearing some of these comments and some of this discussion about the film literally just days before it was released. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to our YouTube channel here, and you will see that I'm going to pull up this panel. And I think what I might do is I might just provide a little commentary as we go. I mean, I'll certainly be here in the live chat as it's playing, but I might just turn the volume down, or I might just pause it and make a comment here and there as it's going along. Because there is, again, it was great at the moment, but it's even more interesting now on a whole other level in retrospect. Now, looking back 5 years ago at everything that was surrounding this film that marked the 40th anniversary of the franchise. So I'm gonna probably have my mic on mute for most of this, but like I said, you might hear me chime in from time to time with my own bit of commentary as we're going. And if you want to see the full 25-minute highlight reel, and again, even this wasn't the entire panel, it is edited down. You'll see it is moderated by the one and only Uncle Creepy, Steve Barton, and but a lot of that moderation is edited down. A lot of the in-between the questions and the asking of the questions in some cases is edited down for time. And again, we're not even going to look at the entire 25 minutes here. We're going to look at maybe about 10 or 11 minutes or so. But to start off with, we begin with the introduction of the one and only Mr. Malik Akkad.
Is it okay if I proxy? What?
Apologies for the ad insert.
Magic Happen, director David Gordon Green. And also Vincent Van Dyke. All right, let's start the room. Come on out. The reason why I took out is great that you're looking at me. My first question is for Ryan. Ryan and I have a very long history, and I love the guy. Ryan, on a personal note, I am so proud of you. Thank you. Because we started working together when we were just wee lads, and look at us now. Well, look at you now. It's crazy. Look at you too, man. I didn't look at you. You're like half the size. So congratulations on all the hard work you're putting in. Thank you. All right. Good night, guys. So Ryan, when did this idea to resurrect the franchise come to be? I ran into Malik at Halloween Horror Nights, and you were feeling great, and we were feeling great, and things behind the scenes at a much higher level were already moving along, which was great. And the next thing I knew, Malik, myself, Miramax, Jason, we were all sitting in a room figuring out what we could do. So I was more like just kind of teeing it up. And yeah, and Malik, you could talk about the behind the scenes on the right side, because I don't know.
Please, Malik, tell us the tale. Tell us, of course, about the involvement of John Carpenter.
Well, a miraculous thing happened on the way to Haddonfield, and that was when the rights came out of the previous studio. I'm sure most of you know who I'm talking about. We had spent 6 years trying to get another film going, and my biggest concern was they just didn't realize what they had and the attraction that this franchise has and how deeply the fans care about it. We were talking. I was being asked to shoot in Serbia for no money, and it was pretty much a nightmare. A miraculous thing happened when that ended. We were able to look around and partner up with people who do get it and who, and as you've seen, know how to market it, know how to make it. It's just been amazing. And speaking of John Carpenter, as soon as those rights came up and I was sort of free of that, he was the first person I went and saw, and I just said, you know, you've got to be a part of this, and everybody collectively we're so excited about that and on board with that. But that fateful day is what led to all the stars aligning, and Jamie and John and David and Blumhouse, and so I do call it the sort of the miracle day, and here we are now.
And so we just started putting ourselves in the mind of our own appreciation of the original film. You know, loving every film that's been made in the franchise and appreciating them, but wanting specifically to honor Carpenter's 1978 film. When we got to the core of what we were responding to about that movie, it was the simplicity. It was not motivation. It was not justification. It was not an elaborate backstory. It was something very primal and unexplained. And that's what really terrified us about that. So then we said, what if? Would the world hate us? Would the world reject us if we said there was no Halloween 2 and beyond? But we started right there. So it was an initial kind of novelty idea that the more we started following that thread, the more we started finding a narrative that we really liked because of its raw simplicity.
Do you guys like the mask?
It all starts with the director, David, and you know, the point was, after all these years and all the sequels and things like that, you want to give the fans what they want. You want to give them that classic, and then the context of the story had taken place 4 years later, after the first movie, and all the other movies go away. If that mask doesn't look like Michael Myers, if it doesn't have that shape, if it doesn't have that silhouette, then it's just not going to work. You know, it's just, you're not going to pull it off. So we had a great team of artists, myself, Vincent, Justin Mabry, everybody, Vincent Van Dyke's shop. We're all Halloween fans, and we're all Michael Myers fans, and we all study photo after photo after photo, and masks, and 40-year-old masks, and how they decay, and again, the silhouettes and the hair. You have to sculpt the hair. It was just a lot of work, and it was a collaboration of a lot of people that wanted to see that character return and wanted to do right by the context aspects of the story, do right by David and Malik and for the fans mostly. You know, we just wanted to make everybody happy. So we worked really hard, and I think we got close. We could do better, but we got close.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add to that. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head that it's all about going back to the roots of that original mask and really trying to pay a nice homage to it and then age it and distress it in a way that feels believable and natural.
Yeah, the other thing too is a lot of people, like, you know, you have to take a bit of cinematic and artistic license with the decayed look of a mask. You can't look, if you took the original mask as it is today and you stuck it on the guy's head, it'd be laughed off. Like, you couldn't use it, it just wouldn't work. So you have to take a little bit of cinematic license there and have a balance, and also the guy wearing it, and David, the way David shot it and Michelson's lit it, that was really important.
I was just going to add that the first day that Chris brought the mask to set and Jim put it on, and we're in the back of a house and we're you know, preparing for the film, and we see it kind of in the shadows off in the distance down the hallway. I see them preparing for it, and it was a chilling effect. Like, you got the feeling that you wanted. You got the feeling, but but it's present. It's not on a movie screen. It's in the house that you're in, and you hate it. You're drawn to it. There's something absolutely horrifying about its almost vacancy. It's there's a subtle melancholy to it that I love, and just seeing the subtle movements as Jim started to possess that character, and you would see the slightest head tilt or those things really start to echo, and then all of a sudden we knew we were on something. That was right before we started production, and it gave everybody that thrill, that chill that said we're gonna get it right.
So I had Justin Mabry come in, who's an excellent sculptor, recreating that look, and we had that mask, and we ended up not shooting it, we ended up not using it. Those exist, and they're probably worth a lot of money.
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, to keep in mind what in the spirit of Carpenter's film, this is a low-budget movie, and to us, as much as that's a challenge every day, it's also an opportunity to innovate, and you have an idea of what something's going to be, and then you can't afford it or you don't have enough time. I mean, principal photography was 25 days, and so, you know, you have a lot of things that are in your head, and you've got to get it. It's my first horror movie. I don't want to be in this room with a bunch of people pissed off at a movie we made. So we have all these especially horror fans. And so we had an introduction, like,
Somewhat prophetic statements there from David Gordon Green.
we had a prologue in the script that in my head as a writer thinking, well, the new fans are going to need this to give us some setup. And this isn't giving anything away from anyone that hasn't seen the movie, but it was people are going to need the setup. So let's pick up with a little, you know, a moment in 1978 that has a glimpse of the climactic bedroom sequence, has a glimpse of 78 Myers, and we'll get little glimpses that can give us some context for our movie to start, right? So it was under construction. I mean, the actual original house had been visited and measured to the inch, and it was the frame and the room had been starting to be built. We're looking at our schedule and our budget and thinking, this prologue's costing a lot of money, it's taking a lot of time. And then in consultation with John Carpenter over the script, he's like, kill the prologue, buddy. Like, nobody needs it. You know, you get right to your story, get right with what makes it, you know, everybody's gonna have seen the movie. If they haven't, they should. And they will. And he had that great confidence about it. So we said, okay, yeah, you're right. I could save the time and money, but we have this set half built. And then one of the great opportunities that Sean in the art department came up with was, let's use it for our climax in a remodeled way that's a very subtle, subconscious callback in a way that it was fun way to reutilize something that was being constructed for a different purpose. But then now when you look at it and you see where we go at the ending of the film, you just think, how could that not have been designed all along? So you kind of feel like the horror gods are navigating this ship in a lot of ways, and we've got a lot of amazing artists and technicians utilizing both cost-effective and the dreams of being an 11-year-old watching a movie your parents told you never to see is all coming to life. And the enthusiasm on this set, the opportunity of these iconic characters in this franchise was something that actually you can all imagine, and it was really a crazy, goosebumped honor for 25 crazy days.
And I gotta say, I love and really respect those statements from David, especially those at the end that, it's like, yeah, there's all the pressure in the world. And he knows he's running the risk of pissing off specifically that room of horror fans. But how can you possibly, as a filmmaker, as somebody who dreamed of this type of stuff as a kid and grew up with this, how do you say no to that? How can you not take on that challenge and try to bring something to it? I love those statements from David Gordon Green right there.
I cried a couple times. I'm not ashamed to say that.
And if you couldn't make out that bit of audio, because again, I apologize for the audio and some of the camera work in this, but if you couldn't make out that little bit right there, that's Christopher Nelson on the other end of the table saying, I cried a little bit, talking about working on this film. So, and if you remember my original 2018 interviews, Christopher was one of them, James, Nick. We also talked to Rian at the 40 Years of Terror event. But Christopher more or less expressed that type of emotion when I first interviewed him right after they were at filming back in early 2018. You can find that written interview at HalloweenDailyNews.com in the interviews section, or just search his name in the search bar on our main website anytime.
So, Rian, actually, first, has anyone here seen the movie yet?
Now, you might be wondering how some of those people had seen the movie. The previous night, there had been a very limited attendance screening at an area theater. And so that's how some of the people had gotten in to see it early.
So, Rian, tell us about your character for those of us who hadn't seen the movie and how you play into it.
I play Dana Hayes, who's a podcaster over from England. And me and my co-star, Jefferson Hall, who says hello, by the way, he's in San Francisco right now. He is a little bit exploitative and has, let's say, lack of patience with Michael Myers in the sanitarium. He obviously taunts him and gets the desired reaction, I'm sure. Yeah.
Were you a fan of the Halloween franchise?
To be honest, I hadn't seen it because I'm a bit of a scaredy puss cat. I haven't seen many horror
Okay,
films.
everyone shame her right now.
But it made it better being in this horror film because I was naturally very terrified.
Tell us about the first time you saw Jim in full shape for Gallagher.
Well, I just had a conversation with him 5 minutes before we started doing our scenes, and he was the nicest, sweetest man. He was telling me all about his cat and how his cat came along with him in his trailer. And I was like, oh, I have to be really scared of you. That might be tough because you're so nice. But then as soon as he was in full costume and makeup, and he was behind that door dropping those teeth, it wasn't that hard to be scared.
So, Jim, tell us about what you wanted to bring to the role of Michael Myers. Like, where is Michael Myers at after these 40 years have passed?
You know, that's an intellectual question that I don't have an answer for because I didn't intellectualize anything about this character. I studied with Stella Adler and had Royal Academy coaches, and there are very distinct ways that normally I would work on a character. But for this one, it goes back to a great old comedian, comic actor named Ted Knight.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up.
You know, this was in my contract. I'm supposed to be at every one of these, and look, they didn't invite me. Come on! No, I'm just kidding. Are they doing okay, you guys? Okay. Bye.
What? Come back here. See, he's an old guy. He's loud and this. So,
Thank you, David. This cast is really here, guys. You can do better than that for the original Funny Man. Let me hear it. Back to you, Jim.
So there's this great old comic actor I'm from the Mary Tyler Moore Show named Ted Knight, and I was a young actor, and I met him. And one of the great gifts he gave me, he was a very generous man, and one of the great gifts he gave me was the importance of emulating if you're going to be an actor. And so, and he said, when he told me to emulate people walking down the street, emulate your mom, and he told me there had to be sort of an empathic quality to that. I had to feel into them. It's not intellectual, I'm going to move my feet this way, I'm going to move my hands that way. What it's really about is feeling into that person and feeling what they feel like, because what they feel is how their face expressions are driven, how their body motivates. And so for this particular character, when I got the call to go down and put on tape, I looked at Halloween, the original Halloween, knowing that all I wanted to do was embrace the energy of the entire thing. So I made no notes, I didn't talk to Nick, and there was a moment when I was watching the film, and there's a moment when Nick is walking through the backyard, camera left to camera right, really quick shot. But I was watching the film, and I went, I got it. I've got that energy. So everything that I did from that point forward, when I went down, I put on tape, when I went and I dated, and when I went to work, and David and I had a nice conversation about cat-like movements when he called me, and we talked about the way David envisioned him moving and his cat-like movements, and I was really fully resonating with that already. My cat was in my lap at the moment that David called me and talked to me about it. So I have not intellectualized, and I never have, and I don't think I ever will intellectualize this character, because to me, this character is a space, a place, and an energy, indefinable in my world. It just is. And I'm the guy who's was lucky enough to inhabit that space. It's a very deep space. And it's beyond duality, it's beyond light and dark, good and bad. It just is. And it's a really powerful, beautiful space. So that's my story, I'm sticking to it.
And that is why we love the great James Jude Courtney. Yeah, if you haven't, read my original 2018 interview with James Jude Courtney. Very proud that we were able to, in many ways, introduce him to the franchise. And of course, we've talked many times since then. You can watch our other video interviews elsewhere in the interview section, the interviews playlist here on the HDN YouTube channel. But just a little taste of the wisdom of our Michael Myers for these last 3 films. Such an amazing performer. Nobody talks about playing this role like James Jude Courtney does. All right, again, I'm not gonna play the whole thing tonight. There is probably about another 6 or 7 minutes or so, but I will drop the link down below in the description of this video, and actually I'll put it right here in the live chat right now so that you can watch the rest of this at your leisure when we're done here. It is almost midnight though, so we're gonna start to wind it down, but not without looking at our poll results. There's the link right there in the live chat, by the way, as well as our shout outs. I hope you enjoyed that. I love seeing that we're bringing a little more excitement into your life, getting even more hyped for this year's panels. Again, I thought that one is especially cool to look at, given the time period when it happened, knowing all that we know and has transpired in the 5 years since. I mean, shit, just looking at stuff from 2018 in a pre-COVID universe before, before all that happened, which still kind of seems like a fever dream and everything. But in any case, I love seeing that we're bringing some excitement to you guys with some of these flashbacks. There will be lots more of that. Like I said, we've got tons we're digging out from our archives, some of which has been published and shared, but not shared in a while. So we're going to take a look back at it here on live streams and elsewhere throughout the year here at HDN, and kind of and then there's going to be other times where it's been never before seen content that we're going to bust out for the first time, and that'll be exciting as well. Like we've done with some of our photos and recently, like from Flashback Weekend back in 2015, some of the VIP stuff and stuff like that. So you never know what you're going to see in here. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys for the comments on that. Million agrees that the See Anything You Like line is a top 5. I think so. Yeah. Absolutely. And I love Nick saying it in ends. I love PJ saying it in the original. I think it's awesome. One of my favorite scenes in general. And I thought Nick's cameo was great. Yeah, Million says it was a good move to hold the flashbacks until Kills Carpenter was on fire. He knew. Yeah. Because dropping those flashbacks and kills, I mean, yeah, that everybody loved that. And I think it was good to hold it till then. Absolutely. Smart of them to listen and great advice from the man himself. All right. Here in recent weeks, we have been looking at our poll results and dropping a new poll each week during Michael Myers Monday Live. So let's go over here to last week's poll, where we wanted to know which Halloween franchise personality would you have dinner with if you could pick any one. And speaking of which, the winner with 41% is the man himself, John Carpenter, with Jamie Lee Curtis coming in second place at 22%, Danielle Harris at third place with 18%, James Jude Courtney, speaking of, with 13%, and Malika Akkad rounding up the top 5 with 6% of the votes, from a total of 144 votes this week. Again, not too surprising that Mr. Carpenter is your number one. I guess the better question now would be if you could ask John Carpenter one question, be it in an interview setting or at that dinner setting, what's your one question? Because I know many of you know that he's not always exactly what you'd call the easiest person to interview. That being said, pretty proud of the job I did when I got to talk to him. Be sure to check that one out as well at HalloweenDailyNews.com. We got a couple comments on this poll. Mark61 says Jamie Lee Curtis in a heartbeat. Phil Walsh says Danielle Harris. She seems pretty funny based on her podcast and interviews. Check out our interview with Danielle here on the channel. Josh Willard says I'm going with JLC, but I think I would have the most interesting conversation with James. Interesting that you go with JLC still. Joker says, I'm surprised most people voted for John. On one hand, I can understand why, but on the other, I don't think those people realize that unless you're paying him, John is a very unpleasant man. He's especially cantankerous when it comes to Halloween because he doesn't understand or care about the love people have for it. If you own the property, I'm sure it'd be different, but okay. Don Harrison says Donald Pleasance. I love that vote. I was thinking more of living people, but yeah, Donald Pleasance might be my pick if we're going to include people that are no longer with us. And then there at the bottom, Steve Somark writes in Ellie Cornell, who got an extra vote in the likes right there. So that brings us to this week's brand new Michael Myers Monday poll question, which just launched about 30 minutes ago. And we will go over to it now. We are asking, as long as we're in control and living in a fantasy world where we can have dinner with whoever we want, let's go ahead and pick whoever we want to direct the next Halloween movie. So if you could pick anybody living, let's say, I mean, I guess you could go with Hitchcock, but let's try to keep it living this time. Who would you pick to direct the next Halloween franchise movie? And the options I put up, some of my favorites include James Wan, Jordan Peele, Ty West, Ari Aster, and hell, why not John Carpenter? And already with 11 votes, Carpenter is jumping out with a significant lead. Currently with Jordan Peele, Ty West, and Ari Aster all tied with 8%, and James Wan has yet to get a vote, but again, that just launched a few minutes ago. Our first comment, Ballad of the Broken, says Carpenter won't do it, so I'm not even going to pick that option. I'd go with either Ty West or Mike Flanagan. He actually knows how to write characters. Third pick would probably be James Wan. I like Ari, but he would go too weird with it, and Jordan Peele is a nope for me. All right, there you go. Yeah, Flanagan's definitely another interesting option. I remember a lot of people were talking about him as a potential pick for 2018. And if I remember correctly, he actually did meet with producers, with Malick, and had conversations, maybe with Jason Blum. But I think what he said at the time was ultimately that he had already made essentially his Halloween with his film Hush, meaning that that's his silent masked stalker slasher movie, and he's content with that being his representation of that. Then again, though, that was over 5 years ago, so things do tend to change in Hollywood from time to time. So I would consider him a viable option as well. Good right in there. All right. It is after midnight, so we're going to jump right into tonight's shout out. You know what's up, Michael Myers Monday. Every week we're reposting, resharing, spreading the Michael Myers franchise love, and of course we are sharing some of our favorite posts from the Twitter sphere, from the IG sphere. This one comes from the Hallosphere of parody accounts. This one is at Annie Brackett 78, who says, I'm trying to have a conversation with Lori's boyfriend, but he won't talk to me. Was it something I said? I love Annie. She's so funny. And I love the Hallowverse parody accounts as well. Keeping it on Twitter for our next one here. This one comes to us from Spooky Mom Tina. That's it. Spooky Mom Tina shared this one, and it's pretty funny if you know what you're looking at there. Mike Myers, of course, playing Dr. Evil. Michael Myers doesn't quite know what to make of that. I thought that was pretty witty. And one more from Twitter here tonight. This is a nice shot. That Michael Myers animatronic, that H2 animatronic, that is the version sold from Party City, if I'm not mistaken. This one comes to us from the Odorous of York on Twitter. Moving over to Instagram. Love this cosplay shot from The Shape of Winter. Lurking in the forest, he says. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everyone. Awesome shot. Love the cosplay. Love this shot because it's just showing off some love of an unaltered stock copy of the Trick or Treat Studios officially licensed Halloween Ends mask. That's the one I've got lurking over my shoulder here. Not the exact one. This one was posted by Behind the Mask Studios, and they're saying that they haven't done any rehaul work on it. This is a great-looking stock, I would agree, and we have many of those great-looking stocks. Gotta plug every chance I can. Our own online store. You can get one of those great-looking stock copies of HN's officially licensed Michael Myers mask right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. Direct link in the comments in the description below. This one on Instagram comes from Anshar86. Speaking of PJ and Bob and See Anything You Like, your face when she says Jason Myers is her favorite slasher. I'd never seen that one before, but I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, one of my major pet peeves is when people call Michael Myers Mike Myers. Speaking of Mike Myers, the comedian, I kind of find that even more offensive than when people mistake him for Jason, believe it or not, which happens all the time, as you all know. They're both annoying, though. Jason Myers, that I don't hear as much. And one more from Instagram. This one comes to us from our buddy Josh Smith, 1031 on Instagram. He is a regular viewer, regular stalker, very possibly lurking here in the live chat here tonight. This is his original artwork, and it is pretty badass. I love it. He says the shape lurks is what he calls it. His fan art piece for Michael Myers Monday. Also, happy halfway to Halloween, says Josh. And happy Michael Myers Monday and happy halfway to Halloween to you as well. Be sure to tag us on your social media Michael Myers Monday posts every week. And who knows, you might be featured right here on the live show. And also, as I've said earlier, consider joining the HDN Club. It's just $5 a month. It goes a long way in supporting us here on the HDN channel. And you get all kinds of cool perks, like custom emojis that I've been sharing tonight, for example, custom badges for members. You also get to see certain pre-recorded videos early before they go public, and other cool stuff coming down the road. So hit the join button. Think about it. We'd love to have you. We've got a growing community of members. We're getting a couple more each week. Lurch is one of our more recent. Andromeda is one of our more recent. It's a great time to join. And as we get closer to 45 Years of Terror, there are going to be more and more exciting reveals coming. I am working on, maybe we're going to have some exclusive stuff coming. We're definitely going to have some cool interviews from franchise alums and personalities as we lead in to this major event and as we celebrate here all year long anyway, because like every day is Halloween, every Monday is Michael Myers Monday, all year is H45 for us here on the HDN channel and for you guys. So there we go. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. I appreciate you guys hanging out and joining me this evening. A million ideas. You're asking, John, what did Charlie Bowles do after he kissed his wife and kids goodnight? Go read my interview with John Carpenter at HalloweenDailyNews.com. I asked him that very question, and John Carpenter told me the real life inspiration for that Charlie Bowles story and what happened in real life, who the real guy was in my interview. HalloweenDailyNews.com. Just go there, search John Carpenter interview. It's right there. And some other fun, cool questions that I did manage to get out without stuttering too much when I talked to him on the phone a few years ago. Yes, Rob, I thought that art was really cool. Yes, Million, I remember that JLC interview. That was great. That was awesome. Yes, David and Phil. Yes. Raise the horns. Crank it up. Yes. Vibes is here. Halloween Vibes is our buddy Josh, a.k.a. Josh. Hope you don't mind me revealing that, buddy. But yeah, great artwork. I love seeing it. Yes, Million. Check out that interview. I'm about to sign off here. But yeah, check out that interview. I asked John Carpenter what really happened with that. That was one question I was very proud of that I was trying to think, well, what maybe he hasn't been asked 8 million times. I think I probably still asked mostly stuff he's probably been asked 8 million times. But anyway, check it out. I do appreciate that. And any of you that haven't seen it already, I urge you to check it out. Again, to Protect Safes for the Super Chat, I appreciate that. To all of you hanging out tonight, participating in the live chat, or even if you weren't participating and we're just hanging out, listening in the background, that's all good too. Throw us a like if you don't mind. If you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed what we did here tonight, I urge you to subscribe. We do this type of stuff regularly here. And turn on your notifications if you have subscribed so you don't miss any of our live streams. Sometimes it might be something kind of unannounced. And we've got lots of other stuff we're covering here on the channel, not just this franchise, obviously. All things Halloween. Lots of cool Halloween horror movies and otherwise coming out later this year that we're talking about. And we might not have a new Michael Myers movie in theaters this year, but we do have some cool Halloween movies to look forward to. We're covering all of those and lots of other cool product releases and all kinds of content coming your way, including exclusive interviews. Always more exclusive interviews. I've actually got a couple scheduled for tomorrow. Very excited to talk about those once they are in the can. So, subscribe, like, thank you all, and make your plans to join us right here every Monday night for Michael Myers Monday Live. And if you are watching this on a replay, drop us a comment down below. We would still absolutely love to hear from you. We appreciate all of your participation and your support. And if you have like-minded friends, hit that share button and let them know about us as well. All right, guys. As always, you can learn more about everything I've talked about tonight at HalloweenDailyNews.com anytime. And we will have regular updates on 45 Years of Terror as more announcements are made, when tickets for these other separately ticketed events go on sale, and so forth. We're looking forward to covering all of that with you and lots more surprises to come. All right, guys, for Halloween Daily News, I'm Matt Arts. For Halloween Daily News, thank you for watching. And happy Michael Myers Monday!